Yesterday, Thursday, January the 31st, I was advised that lawyers acting for a female police officer, Miss Michelle Andrews, filed 2 private criminal complaints against me in the Kingston Magistrates Court. One complaint alleged that on January the 3rd this year, I indecently assaulted her at Old Montrose. The second complaint alleged that on the said January the 3rd, I had unlawful sexual intercourse with her without her consent at Old Montrose. I categorically deny these allegations. They are false and malicious. I am wholly innocent of them. I was advised that the complaints were filed at about 3 p.m. yesterday. Within 1 hour of the filing of these charges, here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a Trinidadian journalist telephoned me from a media house in Trinidad, informing me that a story concerning me alleging sexual misconduct is about to break in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and asking for my reaction. That journalist appeared to know of the filing of the private criminal complaints even before the documents were drawn to my attention. The filing of these private criminal complaints and the inquiry by the Trinidadian journalists so soon after provide a strong indication as to what is intended by my political opponents. This is an attempt to damage me politically and to discredit me in the eyes of the people. But they will not succeed. It is to be noted that these are private criminal complaints, not complaints filed by the police or the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, as is normal in cases of this kind. These private complaints were a follow-up to a letter on the matter to the Commissioner of Police dated January the 26th, 2008, which I have been advised arrived on the desk of the Commissioner of Police on Wednesday, January the 30th, 2008. The Commissioner replied the very next day, namely January the 31st, and delivered to Miss Andrews' lawyers well before the private complaints were filed. This letter to the Commissioner was filed by 4 lawyers on behalf of Miss Michelle Andrews, namely Sharon Morris Cummins, K. Bacchus Brown, Nicole Sylvester, and Emery Robertson. Everyone in St. Vincent and the Grenadines knows the political connections and affiliations of these lawyers. In response to the letter from these lawyers, the Commissioner of Police wrote to them the following, among other things. Quote, I regret to state that I have found the tone of your letter to be extremely negative because you have practically accused me of doing nothing about the matter. However, I had the matter investigated, and those investigations did not reveal any evidence of wrongdoing by the Honorable Prime Minister. As you and your colleagues are aware, the police do not arrest or charge any person for an alleged criminal offense unless the police are satisfied that there is enough credible evidence to establish guilt. No such evidence has been produced. Should any credible evidence be produced, however, you can rest assured that the police would carry out the duties which the law requires of them. Please feel free to communicate with me further on the matter should you be in a position to provide any further information. That is what the Commissioner of Police wrote to them yesterday and delivered to them well before the filing of these private criminal complaints. It is important to note that in his letter, the Commissioner stated that Miss Andrews did not initially report to him that she had been sexually assaulted. It was days after, when her mother accompanied her to the commissioner, that the allegation of my alleged sexual misconduct was made. In any event, according to the commissioner, they told him that, quote, they did not want to make any formal complaint, and in particular, they did not wish any publicity, unquote. I have been advised that there has been no response to date to the letter of the commissioner from Ms. Andrews' lawyers. Indeed, I have been further advised that when the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Bertie Pompey, whom the Commissioner has placed in charge of the ongoing investigations, sought yesterday morning to obtain a statement from Ms. Andrews, she refused to be interviewed by the police for the statement on the advice of her lawyers. Instead, she said that her statement to her lawyers would be made available to the police yesterday. It was not. But as we now know, her lawyers filed instead the private criminal complaints. On Wednesday, January the 30th, 2008, I signed and delivered a statement on the matter to the police. In that statement, I gave a full account, categorically denying Ms. Andrews' allegations against me. I repeat, I am innocent of the charges. Despite my instincts to the contrary, it would not be proper for me to read my statement to the police while the matter is still pending before the courts, save and except to say that Ms. Andrews was detailed as an SSU officer at the official residence of the Prime Minister at the material time on the day in question in her SSU uniform and armed with an M16 assault rifle in her hand.